Cheers, my friend. We're doing it. Welcome to Unveiled.
I'm so excited.
Episode 2. No bees allowed.
We're going to talk about like one of the most anxiety-inducing moments that a bride has. Who to bring.
Who to bring and how to deal with the bees on the couch that cannot, for some reason, be happy for you.
I think the first thing that people ask me when I say that I own a bridal store or I work in a bridal store is, are there a ton of bridezillas?
All the time.
All the time.
Every time. The minute you tell somebody you work in bridal, they're like, tell me about the bridezillas.
And honestly, our brides are lovely. Majority of the time, super lovely. Doesn't mean we haven't ever met a bridezilla, but the majority of the things we deal with when it comes to quote unquote bees are the moms, sorry moms, and the people on the couch, like what you said, they just can't be happy.
They can't be happy. They feel the need to share their opinions, whether it's asked for
their day.
Pardon?
Make it their day.
Oh, their day. Yeah. 100%.
When I got married, this is what we did.
I can't. It's literally the worst.
So one of the first things I tell girls who are really, really nervous is that, and I think it's plastered all over our website, are making sure that you bring the people who are truly celebrating you. And we're going to get into the nitty gritty about what to do with the bees that don't celebrate you. But I think when you're amalgamating all your people and deciding on your bridesmaids and thinking about the friends and family that you really, really want to come, one, keep it small.
Come alone. We love that.
We do love that. I think that's easier said than done because I think I would have loved to do that. But no, I think I would have done that had I not been in the industry because I think we already got the shop alone experience because every day is like shopping alone.
Yes, that's very true. Very, very true. We kind of like, you already knew. We had the benefit of knowing what we wanted.
What you wanted to pull.
What looks good on you because we put on dresses every day that...
So that's what the shopping alone experience is. That's like, I get to be me and no one's interrupting me and I can be in my own head about it. And you have someone impartial with you, which is your stylist that helps you through it. And then you bring your opinions if you really need it. And those are the people who should be there to support you. Yeah. So keep it small and keep it supportive and don't bring someone out of obligation. And we're going to tell you a few stories about obligation and how to deal with it. But I will tell you that as stylists, we're kind of like the Pope.
Okay.
It's a safe space. And, okay, maybe Pope is the wrong word. I'm not the religious type. But I would say that we are undercover agents then.
Okay, yeah, we could do that.
That one? Okay. Yeah. Where we're sometimes the first to know if there's a pregnancy.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes the first to know that... just so you know, like I want to run this appointment like I've never been here before.
Oh yeah, we get that a lot. And honestly, I dig it so much when people are like, just pretend that you've never met me. Meanwhile, a week ago, we like found her dress and she's like, nobody knows I was here. Yeah. You're like, no, never met you.
Never seen you before in my life.
Let's go.
So I think that's a really, it's a sneaky way, but it's a good way to deal with that obligation where you know that you will get more flack for not including that person, but that you already have chosen your dress and you're already going to be happy regardless of what they say. And that's really like a power move, I would say, because you are giving that person what they feel they need and what they want to be part of your day, but you've gone ahead and decided what dress makes you feel the best. Honestly, like if you can't tell them to your face, at least give them a fake appointment.
Yeah. We will support you in all of your fake ventures on this wedding journey. Okay, so I think we need to like let the people in on some of the absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, you want to burn off some like bad comments?
Yes.
Hit me with the worst one you've ever heard.
Okay, so the worst one that I ever heard, actually, I feel like the funniest, I'm going to say, because I feel like it's a very fine line between funny and then, okay, that didn't need to be said. And usually that line is like exactly the minute that they comment on somebody's body and you're just like, you
should definitely wear that dress because it covers up that part of you that you hate.
Or like, oh, your arm's showing.
Yeah. Are you sure you want your arms to show like that?
Pardon?
This is good because then it looks like you haven't had a baby.
Okay. Yeah, your stomach is not ruining this outfit. It's actually, you look great.
Honestly, I feel like you know every human's insecurity when they come into the change room with you. But as soon as you go back onto the couch and mom says something, it completely like validates or shows you exactly where you got that insecurity. So,
Yep.
And it sucks because I think we can all say that our parents are, some of them are trying to be better people, and we don't always want to impart those things. But I feel like weddings in general and bridal shopping and everything you do for your wedding kicks up so much dust and insecurity and so many things that your family's going through. And unfortunately, majority of people come through our space are women, and we come with a lot of baggage. So it's not the bees on the couch fault that they're bees. It's that they just need to maybe do some more self-reflection.
Yeah, and sometimes they don't even realize that they're being bees, but they're still being bees. So nonetheless, so one of the funniest things was I was in the, and like, I hope if she's listening to this, like she laughs at it now too, because we did have a laugh after we cried. She cried. But anyways, so we're in this dress and we're about to go out, and she's like, this is it. Like, I absolutely love this dress. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. I'm like, do you want me to like do the thing where I make your friends and everybody on the couch close their eyes, and then we put you on the pedestal, and then they open their eyes and everybody's crying? And she's like, yes. And honestly, I reserved that trick for very few people, but I was like, let's just make this happen. So we go out there, we get her in it, and everybody's closing their eyes. Like, we're about to like, I go like, okay, everybody open up. And mom's face, it was like she'd just seen the devil. And she literally just, everybody's like, oh, and then bride is crying, and mom goes, I wouldn't take the trash out in that dress.
Oh my God. You know, that should be a momism, because I'm pretty sure I've had a mom say that to me too.
Yeah. Like, is that a thing?
I would take the trash out in a lot of things.
I wouldn't take the trash out in that dress.
This isn't funny, but it was like so cringy in the moment that, I don't know, we'll see. You get to be the judge. Okay, so this girl, again, it's always the same scenario. She's jazzed. How do we make everyone else jazzed? Like, do you need me to preface this? And almost always we say, okay guys, we really like this. We're trying to rally the troops
yeah,
here.
For sure. Yeah, you do like the preemptive rally. Like, sometimes they'll go out and be like, this is a favorite. This is a favorite. Just let everybody know. Put your smiley faces on.
And obviously there's a sister B on the couch who thinks this appointment is about her, and so she comes out, and I think this is one of the brides that shopped previously, so she's already knows, like, this is the dress, we love this, okay guys, we love it. She comes out, she's smiling, she's beaming, and sister's like, this isn't it, is it? And it just like takes all the air out of the room. And so I'd say that some of these ones that we're starting with are like really hard to recover from, but this girl in particular, like, her sisters were just like outward bitches. So it was kind of just like, she just knew that was going to be a reaction.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was going to say. Like, you have to think like you've lived with these people that
your whole life
are going to be the reactions that you're getting. You're not
expecting them to all of a sudden be different humans when they show up to your bridal appointment. Yeah. So while it like completely like blindsided me and another person on the couch that wasn't family, the bride was just like, you could just tell it just like rolled over her, and she's just like, I love it.
Oh, I love that for her.
And it just like completely blew all the air back into the balloon, and then we were sailing. And it was just like, you can either let it get you or just like let it roll off. Like, it is what it is. Like, you knew that this was going to be this way. I think it's the expectation that we put on ourselves to have that magical moment with mom or best friend or auntie or whoever who's never maybe shown up for us that way in our whole lives. And you're kind of selling yourself up for that disappointment without anyone else doing anything.
Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, like, when you think about like how we train our stylists to support that, and like how we've been in those situations, like one of my quote unquote favorites is when you come out and the bride is in a dress that's either too big or too small, and it's like, yeah, you know exactly what I'm gonna say, and like she's got like a panel and clamps, and it's clearly like 4 sizes too small, and she stands up on the pedestal and she loves it. Everybody's aware that it doesn't fit, and mom goes, well, that's not her size, is it? Is that what it's gonna look like on her wedding day?
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna sell her this and the panels. The clamps come for free. Come on, man.
Honestly, I can't. I'm like, you are an educated human being. You know that is not what it's gonna look. Why are you using your voice right now?
This one's too big for her, right?
Yeah. Yes. Rolled like 8 times.
Yes. The cup is the size of her face. We're gonna order the right one.
Like, oh my gosh. But Yeah, and I think back to like what I was saying with like how we train our stylists, like what do you say to stylists in those situations to like preemptively support the bride? I know like I've cried with brides before. I mean, I'm a crier, but I think it was
I think back to when we had one change room and it was harder because I had no support. So my mom and I would run the shop, and Alicia. This is all very in the beginning, but usually it was just one of us in the shop because that's how we spread out all the hours. And so you really had to just be the biggest in the room, and you had to be the biggest cheerleader for that bride. And whether you gelled with her or not, you were her best friend. And so if I remember this one girl, bless her sister was one of the rudest people I've ever met.
Really? Tell me why.
Oh my God. It was just like, so my little shop on Carden, when social media didn't really exist and I didn't know what I was doing, and I just changed mannequins and mopped the floor all day. And like scoured Facebook because that's all I could do, and like took photos with what's that filter on Instagram?
Oh, like you were like real into the sepia and the Valencia?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah,
we'll
you
give
were.
it that.
With
Whatever.
the vignette around it.
I did what I could, okay? So, anyways, the sister proceeded to say so many things in this appointment, and mom just sat there and wasn't saying anything. And she was like talking about like her sister's body and how like, she's like, I would never wear that dress, but you probably should. And I was like, oh my. Anyways, when I tell the story to stylists, it's one of those things where you just have to rise above that and just be bigger than her voice.
Yeah.
And her voice was very incessant, but this was also a bride that she did cry a little bit because it was an absolute like gunfire of horrible things that this woman had to say. So the bride bought the dress. We were all happy. You know, I think that girl knew that she needed to come before, have the feels, have that moment. And she did. It's like knowing yourself and knowing that girl, even though her mom, I guess, I don't know whoever thought that girl should be there, but I think people should also remember, like, it's not just because maybe it was a jealousy thing.
Yeah.
You know?
There's always so many layers. It's not about the bride or the dress. Like there's so many. It's such an emotional thing for everybody that it's so layered.
So when I tell that story to stylists and I just say, you know what, you just have to bring the attention back to the bride. Like now we do it a little bit different because the couch is a little bit further away. The change room is off site, almost like in the other room. So you get to like have a little pep talk.
Yeah.
But in situations where you're close, like Opal, you really just have to own that room. If someone's trying to take over your appointment, you own it, and you own it with positivity, because there's nothing, you can't save everything, but you can probably save that moment.
Yeah. You'd hope. On that same note of like being the bigger person, like I know in some appointments in the space that we're in right now, like because like you said, we have more room. I've literally turned my back when people start yipping about rude things. I'll just completely ignore what they're saying and turn my back to those people to talk to the bride and be like, okay, well, like, what do you think of that?
Yeah,
like,
you look at her in the mirror, now you're face to face. How do you feel?
Yeah. And I'll be like, well, I think you look great in that, and like whatever. And like, we're obviously never gonna like sell somebody something that they don't love, or lie to somebody and be like, you look great, and you're like, that wasn't the dress, girl. But like people just need to keep it to themselves. What can we say to brides to block this out and like still feel that confident thing? And like I think like we say like sometimes they rise above it and they get what their people don't like, or the opinions, whatever. And sometimes it's not even the dress, that maybe they didn't like the dress too, and then they come out and people all dumpster fire on them, and they're like, this wasn't even my favorite dress, I was just showing you guys, you didn't need to. But when they do like it, what can we say to bride? This is how you block it out and still feel like the bomb confident person you are.
I think there's two areas where you need to keep that in mind. One is when you've already bought your dress and then you show people photos.
Yes. Oh,
so the negative Nancy's
don't do that.
The bees live on past the couch.
Yes,
don't
they
show
are
people
everywhere.
your dress. Unless you feel like there's nothing anyone could say that could make you fall out of love with this dress, don't show anyone. And be creative, because people will be like, oh, do you see that pineapple there in the placement of lace?
Do you see the uterus?
Do you see the uterus?
Guys,
those look like fallopian tubes. It looks like an ice skater. And you're like, I can't unsee it now.
I would just like to say those are all real things that people have said, including it looks like melting skin.
Oh, yeah, that's a goodie.
melting skin.
What's the one we were just talking about the other day? It looks like a plucked chicken.
Oh my God, looks like
there's
a
lots of feathers,
because
but
then there's
there's
like
not
the
enough.
bumps from the beads. Oh my gosh, that's awful.
Anyways, so unless you can fully like let it go, and nothing would ever, it's the same with picking your baby's name, right? You don't tell people if you're afraid that they're going to ruin it. Just don't. So that's one thing, unless you feel like you're Iron Man and everything will just roll off you. I think on the couch, and what you can do is that remember that you are the one wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you bring the people who are there to support you, that they're going to tell you honest but not hurtful opinions.
Yes.
And I think that that's also what stylists do, is that if you're in between two dresses and you need bust support and one of the dresses that you are wearing doesn't have bust support, I'm going to suggest the other one. Like, you need people who are going to be honest about what your vision was, what you're loving now, like keeping you on track. And then I think in your mind, you have to be like, I'm the one who's going to live in this dress for over 12 hours. How do I feel?
100%.
How is my partner going to like react when I walk in? Does this go with my dream, my imagined day, whatever it is? You got to keep that in mind, because the moments where you're on the pedestal are not the moments that you're going to remember. So try and keep the future moment in mind. Preface, if you're bold enough, and I would do this, but I didn't have to because people know me, I would preface before. I would be like, hey, listen, I'm really nervous going into this.
Yeah.
So please keep your comments like positive, like, or just, you don't even have to educate them. I would just be like, I'm really nervous. I'm nervous that things are going to fit. I'm nervous I'm not going to find what I like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, be honest with your humans. Why not?
Yeah.
And that will help, I think, prepare them. And if you're honest with your friends and then they go ahead and crush you anyway, you probably should uninvite that person to your wedding or your bridal party.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Night. And I think that one of the big things brides should have wrapped around their head, that I think I did a TikTok on it, but anyways, like, everybody's going to have an opinion on your dress. Mm-hmm. Like, some people are going to love it and some people are absolutely going to hate it. They're going to think that's the most disgusting thing that could have ever been fabricated.
Yep.
And that has nothing to do with you or that dress. Like, so just, if everybody's going to have an opinion, then just wear what you want. And I feel like that doesn't take away how hurtful some of those opinions can be. Yep. Or sometimes it's also the like lack of an opinion. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've been in appointments where girls are like, oh, what do you think of this? Or, Mom, you're being really quiet.
You go out there and she's like so excited, she's glowing, and then Mom sits there like she's a friggin' statue.
She's like, well, it's your wedding.
And
you're the one wearing the dress. Does it really matter what I think?
That means you don't like it.
It's such a passive aggressive thing that I get like triggered by. I feel like it's a generational mom thing when they're like, well, it's your day, honey. You wear what you want to wear. And you're like, why do we need people's opinions on this?
I find that there's moms that are quiet, that are successful, and then there's moms like that are like, I don't like it and I'm trying to be nice kind of thing. Yeah. So I think the moms that are supportively be like, when she asks, she's like, how do you feel? When she's putting it back on the bride, not just being like, oh, I'm not talking here because I'm going to upset you, blah, 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 passive aggressive. It's more like, I'm trying to tune into how you're feeling and I'm actively experiencing this with you. I don't know if you want my opinion yet kind of thing. They're like trying to pull it out of you. That's so helpful. And that's the right kind of quiet. The wrong kind of quiet is, you're going to be mad at me later for what I want to say.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you just be happy for me?
Yeah. And like that stuff lives in the back of your head as you're continuing to like try on these dresses and be like, even though I like that one,
is this going to get the reaction that I wanted? Is this going to get the reaction that I need?
And I think that's why like that expectation thing that like you don't have to have a say yes to the dress moment.
Yes.
Like it doesn't need to be the most dramatic moment of your life.
Not everyone has to cry on the couch. Yeah. You don't have to cry. And don't be afraid if you do cry and you're like, this is really strange and bizarre and I never thought I was going to feel like that.
Yeah.
Just let it flow.
Let it flow. All the emotions. So another tip that we've kind of instilled in our stylists and ourselves is that if it's really gone awry and the opinions are out of control, we can talk to the bride to be like, are you ready? Are you done? Maybe you come back next week, because it can get overwhelming. It gets overwhelming, because of where we are situated. There are other bridal boutiques in our walkable distance. So on the weekends when people come, they'll come see us, but they'll also probably go see 2 or 3 other shops. And you know, that's a lot of dresses that you've tried on. It's a very overwhelming experience. And if you're getting all these opinions and then you're just like, I am mush, I don't even know, every dress looks the same now, nothing.
I don't ever suggest more than one shop in the same day.
Yeah, don't do that. That's terrible with the opinions. That's just going to get you.
It's just too much. And like, unless you're like very, very decisive, it's almost impossible. Like if you're in a time crunch, this all comes down to time.
Yeah.
If you don't give yourself enough time, you kind of have to just like roll with it, and maybe you have to do 2 shops in a day because someone finally told you that it takes 8 months for a dress to come in, and now you're like, shit.
Whoops. Yeah.
So give yourself the time, because Adele said it's overwhelming, and if you have to crush it in a short period of time, it's very, very stress inducing.
And it's not fun if you're trying to crush it in a time. You've got all these opinions.
Yeah.
But that's kind of, if you do have the time,
because everyone coordinated their time to come on this day.
Yes, the coordination of all the things. But I think that, yeah, if you need to stop the appointment and come back another day, that's okay.
Yeah.
Please do that.
Yeah, it's all good.
We will be here to support you no matter what.
We also have lots of, whenever a bride goes into like her favorite dress, we'll call down like,
I was just about to talk about this.
Okay, I'll let you talk about it then, because we also do this in the reverse. When a bride tries on a stylist favorite dress, we'll pop on the headset and be like, hey Scarlett, come see this dress.
Or sometimes I'll go in and I'll be like, hey guys, the bee on the couch is unhinged. I need somebody to come down here and hype this.
I need support.
Yeah.
ASAP.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, 8 girls dressed all in black show up, ready to cheer you on.
Yeah, we have rent a humans for hype, and they're called our staff.
That's a huge way that we battle the bees on the couch and support you. And honestly, yeah, we love it. You look amazing. That's all that matters.
I have a good one. This gorgeous bride came in, and she was rocking, I can't even remember what dress. And these ladies were very put together, not as much as like Selling Sunset put together, but you could tell that there was quite a lot of thought in the attire. And they were ripping this bride kind of passive aggressively about her bachelorette theme.
Her bachelorette theme?
Yeah. And
wow.
I was like, oh God, I love
what was it?
Theme. And so they were ripping, so they were all in neutrals, and you could tell that this girl was like very much like Shelby, where it's like, color is my best friend. Yeah. And if you insult her, I'm going to wear more color.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she was wearing like pink lipstick or like she had her nails painted or whatever, but she was just like, she was so beautiful and like, just like loving this experience. And the girls on the couch, I don't know if they were hungover or what, and they were giving her the gears, but they didn't have any pink because the first night of the Bachelorette was like Barbie theme, like pink theme. And I was like, oh my God, I love this.
I love this.
I love a good theme. Like if you're not going to get on board, then like just get off the train, you know?
Oh,
like
100%.
So I'm laughing because they're laughing about it, and they're being nice, but they are joking and being like, we actually don't have anything in our closet that's pink. And like, she's like, do we really need the theme? And this bride, love her. She's just like, if you guys don't want to come, then you don't have to come. But if you need me to help you shop for something pink, glad to be there. And they're like, no, we'll do it. And she just like completely came over this whole conversation, was just like, this is my show, this is my day, and that Bachelorette moment is my moment. So either do you want to come or do you not? Because I don't need you there. And it was just kind of like, and they're like, no, and because it sounded like we were talking about it a lot, and these girls were lovely, but I think they really just wanted to push the fact that they didn't want to own anything pink. And this bride was just like, it's not about you.
So get your credit cards out.
It's about pink, and get on board.
I hope that girl had the best pink-filled bachelorette party.
Is
she married yet? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
You know what? I feel like we need to do an episode about regrets, because the longer we're in this industry, I'm like, man, I could have done more.
Oh, yeah.
I should have had a themed night at my bachelorette.
Okay, first off, we did have a theme night at your bachelorette.
Oh, we did. And
everybody had to dress up as their first boyfriend.
Yeah, and I totally forgot.
Yeah, Jess didn't do it.
I thought I wasn't privy to this. I thought everyone was just going to put on a show for me. And Shelby's like, you didn't bring something? And I was like, my bad.
No, it was so funny.
I
definitely recommend doing that. And it also was just like very triggering for all of us.
I think it was a little bit of like it was a therapy session by the end.
Yeah, I think we all opened up, and it was, yeah.
And I think maybe we learned too much that we're almost all of us are alike. I was going to make a bad joke there.
Yeah.
You saw me almost make it.
Another episode. We'll go down the black hole there.
Is this our final question here?
Yes. So we are going to finish every episode with a question from either our DMs or a question box or something. We're both going to answer this. Okay. Yeah, here we go. This is a goodie. This is a goodie. So I told my friend the dress that I wanted to buy. And a week later, she purchased that exact dress for her own wedding. It was my absolute dream dress, and I can't imagine wearing anything else, but I can't imagine wearing the same dress as her. She's getting married 2 weeks before me. Do I go ahead with my dream dress or start the search again?
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
I would go ahead with the dream dress. I'd probably struggle with that a little bit. For sure. That girl's, I'm not even going to go there, but I would go ahead with the dream dress. And we say this because, and we come into this a lot, whether you're getting married 2 weeks before, which is insanity. But if your friend buys something or something very similar, besides Adele and I, which we look very similar, we both had very different aesthetics. So like you look different than your best friend. If your identical twin bought the same dress as you, then we're talking about something else. But the way you style yourself, the way your venue is, the way your bridesmaids are, you will look different. It's going to be a completely different feel. No one's going to know it's the same dress. And if they do, what the hell? They're at your wedding right at that moment. And what does it matter? Because if that's your dream dress and on the day you're putting on a different dress and you're thinking about that original one, it's not worth it. You're going to look different than her. You're gonna wear different accessories. Your hair is gonna be different. Your body that you live in is different than hers. So I would just wear it and let it go. If it was the dream dress, it's your dream dress. Don't 100%. Let it go.
Agreed. I think there's always that thing, like the way that I would feel would be like, oh my gosh, when we go to this friend's wedding and my husband sees that dress and then he sees me 2 weeks later in that dress. First off, I don't even think my husband would understand that it's the same dress.
Nope.
Not at all.
We got to bring the guys on one of these episodes and and test them.
Test them. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that. We have so many exciting things planned for you for this podcast. Thank you for listening.
You're the best.
Episode 1. We're going to get a better sign off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is.
We'll have to do another champagne pop at the end. That was pretty good.
Very good. Bye.
Bye.